started with my daughter actually. She is 4. We went down the beach this one time. It was we went for a swim, and then she was getting annoyed with the rubbish stood around there, and then she was she was asking me, "Mommy, can we do something to clean the rubbish?" You know, she calls it rubbish. And then I thought, okay, let's do this. And then we had a conversation about it, my daughter and I, and then she and I decided that we would do it sometime. And then later that night, I was thinking, how do I go about this? I wanted to set an example for my daughter, and then I tweeted asking for help because I knew I couldn't do this alone. And then I got a lot of support after that. It was initially it was just a couple of people, and a couple more people replied, and then more people replied, and then finally there were like 15 people together. And one of us said, okay, we can't communicate here, and let's make a Viber. I think it was Telegram. Let's make a Telegram. And from then on, it just kept increasing and increasing. It went to 49, and we were excited about that. And then it just went on from there. Within a couple of hours, we had like hundreds of people. 24 hours, and it went to 200 plus. 48 hours, 600. It just took off, blew up. So we had about 30 officials, and each official had a zone they were responsible for. So we had a map and we had grids, and then we were very prepared, honestly. My team has been fantastic. They were very well prepared. So I wasn't worried at this point, because even though it is 150 people, I knew that, you know, I'm in good hands. People started showing up by 2:30, and then we were prepared by then to distribute everybody into groups. We had assigned about 10 volunteers to one group with one official, and the officials were dispatched to their designated zones. And from then on, it went quite smoothly, honestly. Around 3 o'clock, the minister himself participated, the Minister of Environment himself participated, and he actually actively helped us clean the area. In fact, he almost cleaned the entire block by himself. And then we spoke after. He has been very helpful. He has made some pledges, and we are working on that as well at the moment. Honestly, I did not do this alone. I had a lot of help. Personally, my husband, because I have 2 very young children, my husband was a big help with them. I think it is very important that we, as parents, that parents share the responsibility amongst themselves equally. And I think that is one thing that has given me a boost. I also found that friends of mine during the event actually showed up and offered help. One of my very close friends, she took my children and fed them, and that was a big help. That is one thing that I would have worried about the entire time had she not done it. We got a huge support from lots of corporates. And I feel like it was Pizza Warner who actually recognized us first, and I think that gave us a huge boost, because when they recognized us, everybody realized that, okay, maybe this is something that, you know, that they need to look into, or they could join, and that this had the potential to grow. I should also probably mention that Adil from Think Advertising has been very helpful. He gave us a lot of backing. In fact, he even allowed us to use his meeting room for meetings, and he told me that anything and everything, he was ready to back us. And he actually did a lot for us. He printed everything, he designed everything, which is why we came out looking so cool. Another thing that made the event so cool was Zakita himself. He showed up. He texted me actually, and then he's like, "Nah, let's do this. I want to come play music with you. If you could arrange this, we are in." And I said, "Okay, who is we?" And he said, "Okay, me and my family." And I was like, "Okay, your family who?" And then he says, his brothers. And I was okay, wow, that is great because these guys are famous and they're really good at it. And I got really excited, but I wasn't sure that we could accommodate such a thing because I didn't know how this worked, to be honest. But then it was HTC once again who stepped up and said, "Hey, you can have the stage, you can have the music, the sound system, and everything." And Zakit just had to come plug in, and then he was ready for that. It was amazing how he even came up with the idea and gathered all the musicians. He brought Shahudani, he brought Motion in. At the end, it was huge. Like there were so many musicians just doing their thing to bring us all together for this cause. It was really nice seeing everybody doing this. We collected about 1.3 tons of trash within 2.5 hours that evening. And imagine this, HTC had done a full cleanup of Kurumale right about 1.5 months before we did this cleanup. So that is a lot of trash within a very short period of time. We collected about 813 kilos of general waste. And plastic was 156.5 kilos. Aluminium and glass was 67.93. This is also excluding chunks of metal and stuff like that. We could not weigh them because they were huge. The plastic was managed by Kale. They took it for recycling, but the rest of the trash actually ended up with Lenco. There are no options to recycle anything else at this point, but I think I would like to see that happen. I think we have the potential to recycle more waste, honestly, in Male, and I think that would be a really good thing for someone to take up at this point. I think that social media, especially Twitter, has a rep for being negative all the time, but this event has certainly shown that it does have potential to be a force for good for the community, and it was a huge success, I feel. But we could do this every month, every week, or even daily, but it would not make a difference if people do not stop littering. And I think that is the main issue right now and what we need to deal with in order to get anywhere. Cleaning itself will not help unless people are more aware of the damage. We would certainly move forward. We are looking at a couple of things. One of it being starting Twitch Surf programs in other parts of the Maldives. So we want this to be a countrywide thing. I am a third-year law student. I am actually sitting for my final exams in 2 months. I have 2 children, and it is already difficult for me to do all this. To add something like this into my already full plate is very difficult. But then I thought, if so many people could get together to do this, I certainly can dedicate this much time for them, because this is not just for them or me, this is also for the generations to come. If we can make a difference, that much time that I could dedicate would mean so much to everyone.